YouTube, it's Brian Phillips. Look at this, the PA-18 Super Cub in the 1.7 meter size. Look, lights that don't flash, lights that don't flash, lights that don't flash the way we like them. Big, squishy, no, tires, but still, they look like they could be. You can imagine what they'd be like if they were. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna fly this. We just did the Beaver earlier today for us, which is super fun. This is, of course, the second thoughts for us. And so we wanted to get out here and fly this thing and just kind of put it up against the Beaver because it's almost the same size. It's probably about 25% smaller, but it's still a big, cool plane. And you can do some really good flying with it out of the takeoff flaps. This one comes equipped with the Reflex V2. And the reason we're showing you this one right after the Beaver, or maybe we're not showing it right after the Beaver, or we filmed it right after the Beaver, is because sometimes it's nice to have a bit of a comparison with regard to two planes that are of similar size class, but considerably different price. Now this flies on 3S or 4S. In my case, I'm flying 4S 2200, considerably smaller battery, considerably cheaper battery, and considerably easier in general to charge. You've got less money tied up in your charger potentially because you can go with an S55, way cheaper. And look at the amazing flight performance. This thing will go super slow. And it's also super capable still, as you can see here. It's maybe not as capable as the Beaver. Of course, the Beaver is quite a little bit bigger. It's definitely more scale. But what I'm gonna tell you is that this plane is so much fun to fly. Full landing flaps to get that around quick. Keep it flying real slow, going right up by the pole. Let's see if we can get up there and do a little pole dance for you. Oh yeah. So much fun. Let's go right around the pole. So guys, this plane is a joy to fly. I love flying it. I like it a lot better than the 1.3 counterpart. I feel like the 1.7, for the difference in price, is worth every penny if you can fit it in your vehicle. And if you have to transport it right over the hay pile. Full speed, definitely lower on the high-end speed than the Beaver's gonna be, but definitely just, I don't know, there's something about it. First of all, I love the lighting. The lighting is showing up a little bit better, full disclosure, because the sun is lower. But I gotta say, don't like strobes on my nav lights. And I do love the fact that the tires are big already. And so grass hops will be just fine on either, to be honest. Full landing flaps. And we do these little side-by-side reviews, not to diminish the quality of one versus the other, but to just help kind of point out, oh, let's do a little grass chopping. You think I can chop that grass? I can. We're gonna do it. Okay. I just want you guys to see there is definitely something to be said for certain middle sizes. And this is just kind of like a weird middle size. The 1700 millimeter size class. Oh, I missed it. Can definitely be forgotten on the radar. I don't know why. But you guys see that? That's just craziness. Look how capable this thing is. I'm gonna go chop some grass now. You ready? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna hit it this time. Take off flaps. I love flying this plane, and it's just so light on its feet, full landing flaps. But there again, I don't think the Beaver flies bad at all either. Oh, I'm just in front of it. I gotta try it again. So one thing about flying radio-controlled airplanes is you will learn that spatial awareness is very critical, and it's a hard thing to learn. It comes with depth perception and practice. Yeah, baby! Got it! Out of the flaps altogether. Okay, into the bowl. You good? Mm-hmm. So definitely a lot less impressive on top speed, but I don't really fly this plane for top speed. In fact, I'm kind of the opposite. I want to go slow. I want it to look real. And I love the way it looks. Let's go down in the shadow. Try to keep it in the shadow, Brian, when I come around. Let's try doing a landing on the side of the hill here, camera crew. Is that cool?
Yeah.
It's juicy in the grass, so I gotta be careful. We had a lot of snow melt last 2 days. Look at that, guys. So cool, touch and went. I'm gonna try it from the other direction. We'll get a real sharp turn, lots of coordination, bring it around, See if I can get it from the other side. A little bit more challenging with the P factor of the airplane, in my opinion. And you guys will find this, if you're not already aware of it, it's so weird because as a pilot, you get used to certain preferential directions. I don't know why that is. That is so cool and so realistic. Full landing flaps here. But I gotta say, there's just a certain amount of ease and relaxation that comes with this that you sort of miss when you get into the 6S, super high performance planes. And I just can't quantify the exact difference. And maybe it's just a preference thing. Maybe it's that I'm a Cub lover, because I kind of am. And at the end of the day, look how freaking beautiful that thing is. That is so cool. Awesome. And I gotta say, camera crew, what do you think about this compared to the Beaver? If you had to take your Beaver and compare it to this PA-18, what would you think? I mean, we do have multiple Beavers.
Right. We also have multiple PA-18s.
We do. We've had a lot of PA-18s over the years.
I mean, I love the way the Beaver looks. I mean,
I know.
Who doesn't?
That's right.
But there's something that's like even, I don't know. I can't explain it.
That was so dirty.
I can tell that you like flying this one.
It's just so much fun. And to be honest with you, it's got a shorter flight time. That is a big trade-off. But we're talking about a 3S or a 4S pack. Now this is a 4S 2200. You could put in a 4S 4000, no problem. Get this thing to fly perfect. If you wanted a longer flight time. And look what we were doing. We were flying, going right over. I mean, legally over, meaning not actually over.
Okay, so then we were talking earlier about the Beaver isn't a good trainer. You don't want to train on a Beaver. That's a little
Well, I mean, you got to
scary.
train somewhere.
Oh, but that's a pretty expensive place to start.
Yeah, I was going to say it could keep you busy for 18 years.
How does this compare?
This one, I don't know. It's just such a different flight experience, and you wouldn't think it would be, but it really kind of is, and it really kind of is awesome. And I gotta say, not only is it December, I mean, you guys are probably seeing this after the first of the year because we know our production schedule. But the thing is, what I can say is, flying in the middle of winter and having a good old time and not being freezing cold and miserable is super, super fun. I love it.
Very much better.
It's so much more fun. And there's our full power. That's where you're gonna, and by the way, I'm full power because my battery's getting low.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I wanted you guys to hear that. And so what I'm saying is, even though the flight is shorter in duration, full disclosure, this battery was only like 93% charged.
Yeah.
I didn't let it charge all the way. I was being in a hurry.
And do you have a voltage alarm?
I don't,
Okay.
because I did a Gen 2 pack, which is good for balancing and pack sag. But the thing that's not good for is I don't have that balance lead. Look how freaking gorgeous that is, guys. Oh man, I was so badly wanted to go hit that snowbank. I want to see if I can land it in the snowbank. I about landed it on the phone pole there. Well, excuse me, not the phone pole, but ooh, we're out of power. Dead stick, I guess it is. Look how sweet that is, though. So guys, at the end of the day, all I gotta say is, okay, we're 56 seconds past our timer, which was 7 minutes, 30 seconds. So we had 8.5 minutes of quality flight time. We really only lost the power at the very last minute or so. And I was doing upside down into the wind, trying to fly on my back, you know, stupid things like that. But I just love the size. I love the presence of this plane. I love the little vortex generators. It's definitely got more of that fun, kind of like cartoonish finish as compared to what you get with the Beaver, where you've got glass windows that are actually, you know, plastic, and you can see in, you can see the chairs. That is so cool when you go by and the sun shines through the canopy. It's really detailed. Whereas you get into this and it's really light and really agile and does so much more with so much less. So the thing is, I hate to say it, But the thing is, I love the flight experience with the PA-18 1.7. I'm okay with the flight experience of the 1.3. It's good, but it's not good like this because we set this up with an AR620 and basically using the reflex in there. But all I gotta say is the thing is just glorious in the air. I love the lights. I love the springs on the bottom, which helps make up for a really rock hard, obviously fake feeling tires. And to be honest with you, there's nothing stopping you from putting a pneumatic tire on this except for the weight, because weight is gonna be a factor on a smaller plane. Whereas over here on the Beaver, you got a bigger flight platform, still very low wing loading, and you could get away with a little bit more added weight from those pneumatic tires. But I gotta say, I'm gonna come back to this, and I'm just gonna tell you this. I love this plane, and some of you guys are probably thinking, why are you bringing up the Beaver so much? Well, we just earlier today, about 6 hours ago, we filmed our V2 Beaver, and I love the plane. It's a great plane. I really enjoy the flight experience, but you know what? I think I probably enjoy this one even better. So anyway, my battery's dead, but you know what that means? That means time for more flight. Oh, she's dead. So what do you do if you have a dead stick landing, camera crew? Get out of your throttle.
Drop your throttle.
Fly the plane. Try to get it down the runway if you can for convenience sake. That is dead. Full landing flaps. And then you just gotta take what you get.
Which was
there
not
it
too
is,
bad.
guys.
Yeah, that'd be dead.
So anyway, guys, why not do that to a brand new battery? I've only flown that battery, what, like 3 times?
Oh, we gotta break it in a little.
Yeah, I got to break it. So anyway, guys, love the plane. Amazing flight experience. A lot less money. That's part of the reason why when we were reviewing the Beaver, we were, yeah, I guess maybe not the best trainer, but at the same time, and this is something I gotta say, using the NX8 is great, okay? NX10, even better. IX14, IX20, way better. But at the same time, it doesn't necessarily change the flight experience. Any of the computerized transmitters are gonna give you that crisp flight response that you want with the perfect amount of dual rates and expo that you've come to expect from flying the way I set them up, and then just small tweaks to meet your fancy. You know, everybody's got their own taste in the way a plane should fly. And the thing, like when I'm flying with Esteban, he hands me the control and I'll flip from this setting to that setting, or I'll flip from this setting to that setting because I want a little bit more control authority than he does. And so if you're a little bit more experienced, you want maybe a little bit more precise control. You're a little bit less experienced, you might want a little bit less precise control and a little bit more sponginess in the middle of the sticks to help with your flight skills. But at the end of the day, it's a preference thing because we don't back off the rates until we get to the very top setting, and we only back them off by 10%. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to teach people how to enjoy and get the most out of RC flight, RC experiences in general, but predominantly fixed wing aircraft and then aviation of all types. We love doing that here on Brian Phillips RC, and we hope you guys enjoyed this video. We hope we answered some of your questions you had. If you were actually comparing this 1.7 to the 2-meter Beaver, this would be a great way. If you haven't seen that, all you have to do is go to the playlist. You can look for the Beaver, or you can walk over to brianphillipsrc.com and we'll have all the footage there. You basically follow that, it'll take you right back to YouTube. We're just doing it to help you sort through because there's literally thousands of videos on brianphillipsrc.com as well as on YouTube, obviously. And so if you guys follow the links in the video description to buy that plane or this transmitter or this bigger battery, if you're juxtaposing this to the NX10, which does come with that and this one doesn't, so it's like a $50 difference, then when you do decide what you're gonna buy based on, you know, whether a little bit of evidence we showed in a video or something that you like that we said to help you guys make your final decision, then help us out by buying that plane, this battery, you know, this transmitter, the battery we've got in the plane, the receiver, whatever it is that we used, and you'll help support us with small financial contributions from these guys and not from you. Plus then, that also helps us build clout with these guys and those guys and those guys and all the different people that we work with, so we can bring you more content, because as they see sales come through, they know that we're reaching an audience for them. They want to sell planes. We want to help you sort through all the garbage and get the good. And we don't really care who sends it. Shh, don't tell FMS. But at the end of the day, FMS has been great. They make some good products. They make a lot of the products for the other big brands, all of the brands we work with, essentially, I believe. and they're a good company. So the thing is, at the end of the day, if you're looking for a good quality product, we'll help you decide what the choices might be and what the best fit is based on what you want, and not necessarily based on some marketing gimmick from the manufacturer at that time. Because at the end of the day, we've been doing this for quite a while, and we're starting to learn what they're trying to go after, and now we can help you sort through it. Because everything looks good on a website, everything looks good on a marketing page. If it's made by the manufacturer, you have to assume they're gonna show only the positives. They're not gonna show a crash because somebody screwed up at the manufacturer. We will. But at the end of the day, we wanna keep them happy so we can bring you tons of new planes. And the way we do that is when you are gonna buy it, buy from the links. Also, the other thing you do is if you just absolutely loathe that and you're like, Brian, you could never tell the truth because you did a review on a plane that somebody told you to do a review on. Okay, fine. Just help us on Patreon then. And PayPal also. PayPal's one time, Patreon's a monthly thing. So either way, and a special thanks to our Patrons who have been around for so long now. It's been how long since I finally stopped being such a hardhead?
Year?
It's been over a year.
Yeah, a little bit.
We've had some supporters that whole time, which is super cool. And you guys know who you are, and we appreciate you. And by the way, if you guys want to get access to us a little bit quicker, a little easier to get response to comments and things like that, it's one of the small things that aren't actually benefits, that aren't listed, because we don't want people to pay VAT taxes overseas. But anyway, that is one thing that comes with it, because it's just really hard for me to keep up with regular comments. We used to be doing 100% of comments, and I would waste maybe 3 days getting caught up a week. It was like insane. And then I'd go on vacation. I'd spend like 4 or 5 days getting caught up, and I just got to the point where it's like, I cannot stay caught up. And I feel bad because I want to answer everybody's comments. But at the end of the day, we want to try to help people as much as possible. And the way we do it is with videos and with content. And so we're gonna kind of gear that direction, but we're gonna try to get back to as many of you as we possibly can. And Patreon is a good way to do that if you decide you wanna go that route. So anyway, just a small hint, but at the same time, it's not actually written down that way, because if it was, then we would have to charge tax on things like that. So anyway, there is a rationalization for everything we do on this channel. And if you ever wanna know, you can just ask and we'll tell you. And to be honest with you, I'm way too candid. I'll tell you the truth because I'm not a good liar.
Nope.
And I can't keep things straight to save my life. So anyway, it's good, because then I tell you guys all about these amazing planes, and you guys will love them, because at the end of the day, I have seen them all, I've flown them all, and I want to fly more, just like you. But then if I get one that's like, then you'll know, because I won't be able to fake it very good. Camera crew, what do you think about this compared to the Beaver?
I really like them. They're so different, and I feel like they both have a place. I feel like the Beaver is a good goal plane. It's still dead, hon.
Just want to make sure.
Just checking.
I think the Beaver is no reason why you couldn't do that second plane. Also, I think that the Beaver in a water platform would be way cool, because it's just a bigger, like more presence, and also it gets you out of the reeds and stuff a little bit better. Also, there's the plug on the bottom that makes it a lot easier to use the steerable rudder. But I believe on this one, they do a Y cable anyway, so it's not like a big deal. You can do a steerable water rudder on there. The other thing too is, one thing to keep in mind if you're juxtaposing this to another Horizon offering, for instance, even though it's probably still made by FMS, it comes with different electronics, which include the avian ESCs. And if you're not doing a reflex and you're doing a Spectrum AS3X safe combo, like an AR631, AR630, or AR637, probably on a plane like this, you wouldn't go up to the 8, that'd be stupid, because you wouldn't need that many channels. But if you did that, you can actually throw an avian in there. You'd get full voltage telemetry, you'd know what your pack is, and you'd be able to do thrust reverse, which is invaluable on the water. Because I tell you, the first time you get stuck in reeds, or you get stuck in algae on the edge, or some nasty plant, or some duck that's died out there, or something, I mean, believe me, you'll find crazy crap out on the water. You'll be like, I wish I would have put an avian in there. And then you'll be able to do that. And it's super cool to have thrust reverse on the ground, but it's kind of unnecessary. Most of the time, it's just a fun gimmick. Unless you're flying a jet and you fly off of a runway like this. But I'll tell you what, you get in the water, you're gonna want it. And it is definitely worth it. Now, also, full disclosure, guys, I know there's other thrust reverse options out there, and I'm not saying the avian is the only way. You can get other ESCs that will thrust reverse, but they're few and far between, and avian has a whole line of different sizes, which is nice. And plus, then you're investing into something that's gonna be pretty high quality, or at least middle of the road. You gotta at least admit, I know there's some of you guys that hate Spectrum, Horizon, all that stuff, whatever. I get it, whatever. You feel like you got burned by them once, I doubt it, because I've been burned by Hobby King 100 times, I'll still get their stuff. So at the end of the day, they're middle of the road to up. I think they're upper echelon or middle of the road. And I think FMS is right there with them. They make some great stuff. You know, we love flying their products. We love bringing them to you here on Brian Phillips RC. And we love telling you the truth about what we fly and why we liked it. And not just biggest, fastest, cheapest, widest, blackest, wettest, driest, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, we love bringing you guys the full story on these RC products. And we hope that you guys will help support us by coming back, and let's close out with the geese. So cool. So much more from Brian Phillips RC coming, and we appreciate you being here. Happy New Year, if I'd already said it, and then also Merry Christmas and all those different things that you guys do. We appreciate you being here with us, and hopefully you're not watching this in the middle of summer, but if you are, tell me how nice it is, because right now there's snow on the ground, but it's melting. Yes! And we're past the winter solstice, thank God.
True.
Come back for more.